친구가 프로그래머였지. 근데 성별이 안 나와 있는 것 치고는
Let's begin with a basic explanation. If you can figure out who done it, then I'll punish everyone beside. Okay, let's talk about them.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting. That certainly would.
Poor Chihiro.
Chihiro's. It appears it was.
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was covered in blood?
And the wound on the victim's head, as far as I'm concerned. You?
If you don't mind, I will proceed. Although...
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer, the fiendish serial killer. The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is.
The culprit is Case closed.
But that's...
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so speaking, I don't know who that is.
The culprit is
Genocide. Case closed, as far as...
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, there's just no proof for it.
Hey, so I don't know who that is.
culprit is Case closed.
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, there's just no proof for it.
No, that's wrong.
What?
I found this file. I guess it's some kind of
What? That's the why of it is more importantly, it according to the file. The first is that
No.
but more important is the other.
Never made public?
Why don't you tell them?
I got it! Apparently, other than the killer,
However, Chihiro. So, how did there's only one? It's because the culprit in this case.
No fucking way.
You're saying genocide?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true.
Okay, wait, hold on. Toko has like blood.
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is
Another.
now I understand. Is it because Jeff?
Huh?
I think I read they thought that the suspect.
Oh, okay.
perfectly Toko's strange behavior.
말투가 바뀌었죠.
I got it! You're talking about.
That's right. Think back.
She was acting funny.
Don't go.
Not to mention, once she, in other words, within her.
So when Toko.
The reason she locked herself in her, it was to keep her.
What?
Toko was afraid.
Yeah.
I do believe what she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she.
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, she told me she said, a murderous and that trepidation is what's caused her to have.
This is all a lie.
Said you.
What?
You promised.
You have only yourself to blame. This is the real. Besides, you broke your. You said that as long as you were, but in spite of.
You said if I. That's the only reason
How many times do I. But you weren't able to do it.
I tried.
But your efforts were. Well, the opening act.
You.
Hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with
What the fuck is this? Toko.
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what if one of them happens to... Like they say, sound and murderous minds...
This one is so different from.
Yes, well, the world is just like how every inning has a top and a behind every darkened. Miss, what's that?
Some of us think.
Well, I'll tell you. Yes, kid.
Of course it's not true. How dare you try? And another thing. They just let.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac. It's a necessary evil. Just kidding.
This should be enough to convince there's
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma. If someone didn't murder and well, let's assume if a secret like that. So she had a very clear.
Interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit. But I cannot imagine. Maybe so, but nevertheless it's...
Do you really expect?
Yeah.
say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you...
Perhaps if you had an... Oh, an alibi, huh?
When you compare your past murders to the modus operandi matches completely.
No, that's wrong. Are the methods of murder? I think there's a slight difference.
Uh-oh, you don't... Well then, human... I murder with passion and I consider myself a Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. What happened to It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant... This is no...
Let me rephrase. There are two clear differences between... I got it! For one, in the genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way, according to the case file. But Chihiro died from a... yes, wouldn't it be strange for some... And there's more.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, it's the bloody... Then the arrangement of the body...
Could you please stop comparing kills?
So, are you...
I got it! Do you remember what they used some kind of...
What is your...
Well, in all the... Specifically, pairs of...
And guess what? I use my own specialty, like I said. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac?
Listen up, Big Mac.
Huh?
My word, you really did. There's a pattern there. Just
A pattern?
figure that out, and it'll be plain as...
I got it! Is it because...
Bingo!
In all the genocide Jack case...
They were all...
That's right! The people I can't believe I said it!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl! But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged...
So, since Chihiro was a girl...
When an Italian chef suddenly start making... I have too much passion and conviction to crush...
We get it. You've clearly it's a different matter entirely.
Quiet, lowly car!
Lowly.
I would never kill for a reason, and if by some... Why would I bother with the message and arrangement? That... Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out... Who would go out of their way to use...
Maybe you used the...
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I...
Okay, whatever. You're still...
Are you sure? That's right! So why would I resort to dumbbells or... Go ahead, tell me Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot.
I have no idea what's going...
But the body really...
Yeah.
Here's my answer! Byakuya, you'd have no problem gaining... Plus, you'd already... Right, Use?
Then the reason he pushed because he wanted to pin. So he rearranged the adorable glasses man was behind.
Well, Byakuya, what's your...
I see. Then I must ask. When would you say I began acting?
The way you were acting right... You wanted to go to the girls' locker room, right?
I should have naturally... The victim was Chihiro.
Nothing strange about...
On the contrary.
Okay then, go ahead.
you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird. How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
야, 얘도 빨리
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird. How?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless. What's so strange?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found... But he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity to
That's a natural...
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check that there was no time. What's so strange?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting...
If you're presented with the opportunity to
That's a natural reaction...
The victim was Chihiro.
No, that's wrong. I'll tell you what's so... Because up until we actually... So your claim that you went to the...
I see. Interesting. Very...
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Sure. What's the matter? You're not...
There is.
There is more to. We just talked about the difference. The proof you're looking for.
Oh?
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body. But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong. Actually, because you see, that extent... What? Byakuya and the same... went missing. And there's no waste.
And Byakuya must be the...
That's really... I killed Chihiro and... Is that about... What's wrong?
Hell yes, that's what happened.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
You kept calling this a game, right?
So we really... I know, but there's something...
Is that... I killed her in the girls' locker room. Then specifically, I dressed it up to make it look... What about...
I got it! You say you killed Chief, but are you sure about that?
How What kind of question? She was found dead. How could the scene...
Well, along with the...
That was awfully specific.
I believe I do.
Hey! Don't just move on without permission!
Come on, if there's any...
I got it! The proof that she was... Your proof? The poster and a picture of a big... Why would the girls lock...
I bet those massive jugs of hers were...
Meanwhile, a poster of the super... Again, that...
So you're saying that...
And there's one other thing you know...
You're referring to my protein.
Protein.
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein, but I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been...
the stain on the girl's. In fact,
That's definitely.
Then, does that what?
to move the murder scene from one mock. What? In other words, the bloodstained poster, and by doing this.
I can certainly follow your.
Huh?
Why would they go through all that? Actually, an even bigger then how did Chihiro get in the To get into the locker room, but Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed. She had no way to get into the boys.
No, she did have a way. And I can.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you,
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What then?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker?
She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have been.
No, I don't. She used the thing that was in the.
Huh? What then?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
No, it's wrong. No, I don't think Chihiro.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook.
Oh.
I am struck.
Plus, isn't there a regular?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your. In other words, you could borrow.
Yup.
Of course, if it were.
So then, she.
You can't fix an E.
So, if she didn't use.
Maybe Mr. Naegi's in.
It seems like there's no way she.
Okay then, I vote for.
Hold on a sec. I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right.
What the? There's no way she could get in the boys.
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in?
What?
What are you talking about?
Well, to explain, why don't we take a little break from the trial?
Wait.
Don't worry. This'll make the.
Huh? It'll make things. Well, all right then. I did. Now then, what is it you want to?
Oh, I have no.
중단도 하는구만.
The girls' locker.
You've already.
I'd like you to examine. Be sure to.
Except. No, wait.
It's probably.
It's not that I'm creeped out or.
Very well.
But you're a girl.
No, it's okay. So just.
What is this? Some kind of That's not it at all.
Okay, I'm sorry, Chihiro.
Be sure to check.
Her entire. What?
What is it?
Not possible. This
Is what?
is a.
I see.
You're joking.
I wouldn't
It's really.
Chihiro was.
Oh, what? Chihiro Fuji. So that's what Kyoko wanted to show. Now let's ride this wave. We've all just learned of the.
Yes, well. And because the victim was male, he would have.
Assuming his handbook.
Of course, his handbook said he was a boy.
So then, there should be no issue. The victim was killed and the killer could have easily used
So Chihiro really.
I still don't understand the motive for.
Well, I knew he felt a little off.
This is the most titillating.
So now every.
Okay, well, connected.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned,
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like. But I think he might not actually be the.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too. The way he's acting,
And you think that might be because...
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... He consciously chose to use the extension cord. At least... And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, and then again when you found out if you really were the killer...
So that's your thinking, huh? It's fine. I
mark it as...
He's right. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker.
Are you fucking...
No, I am not.
Well, I find...
Go ahead. Find it very...
If you're really telling the truth...
My reasons hardly matter now then.
Well, I don't think...
You're seriously gonna keep going?
No, I'm with Makoto, because if we're wrong,
That's true. Very well then.
Damn straight.
Do you not have...
Of course I do.
Anyway, let's discuss this...
That's very...
Our lives are...
Excellent. Then shall...
I got it!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but... Did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer! And only the killer! And it's not like they're just gonna...
Game over, man!
No! Not game over!
Isn't there a single clue?
Did nobody get...
I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim. Yeah. All we need right now is any...
It's over! You want to know who saw the killer? And only...
No, that's wrong! I believe someone else did...
Now that you mention it, yes. Huh? Oh, but the rest of you had no idea, did you?
Whatever! Just...
It was last night. Right. I saw him stuffing a track and then I...
Track jacket and duck?
It seems likely that...
And that is when he said... Chihiro told me, but why would he be in...
So, Mr. Fujisaki was...
But Hina and I had invited...
Probably because he was afraid you...
Which means that conversely, enough, so that... The point is, whoever he met up with...
But knowing what we know...
no. You...
Huh?
You know...
Seriously? Who is...
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag that focus on the details of these items, and it
Are you sure about that? You really think we can...
Why? You want...
Even if we had the equipment...
As was noted, the evidence is...
maybe, but we can make...
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, the bag was just a norm. All the bags in there are the same.
Well, if I remember, do you think there might be some...
Perhaps.
Let's... First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him right. First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, Why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a track. Cause exercising.
I have a white track. I got it from the
Did any of that really help us?
No way. Not a chance.
First of all, he was on his way. So next bit, why did he choose?
What do you mean, the
I got it! It matched the one that...
So, what, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Shoot!
First of all, we know that he was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the...
What do you mean, the
I got it! It matched the one...
So, what you're saying, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit? My tracksuit.
I don't, cause exercising.
I have a white track. I got it from the
Did any of that really help us?
No way. Not a chance.
First of all, we know he was on his way to go exercise.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose?
What do you mean, the
I got it! It matched the one that...
So, what the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Shoot!
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his...
So next bit, why did he choose this?
What do you mean, the
I got it! He picked that. It matched the one the culprit...
So, what you're saying, the killer was wearing the same... My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have... Cause exercising.
I have a white track. I got it from the
Did any of that really help us?
No way. Not a chance.
First of all, he was on his way. So next bit, why did he choose this?
What do you mean, the
I got it! It matched the one the culprit...
So, what you're saying, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Shoot!
First of all, we know where Chihiro...
He was on his way. So next bit, why did he choose?
What do you mean, the
I got it! It matched the one that...
So, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't... Cause exercising.
Is this... I refuse to give up yet!
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way.
You heard him, right? What he just... First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose...
What do you mean, the specific...
I got it! He picked that. It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying, the killer was wearing the same blue track... My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have it, because exercise...
I have a white... I got it from the...
Did any of that really help us?
No way. Not a chance.
First of all, we know he was on his way, so next week, why did he choose...
What do you mean?
I got it! It matched the one that...
So, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Shoot!
First of all, he was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose this specific...
What do you mean, the specific track?
I got it!
You picked that?
It matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Shoot!
First of all, we know he was on his way to go exercise.
So next we have to ask, why did he choose...
What do you mean?
I got it! It matched the one...
So, the killer was wearing the same... My tracksuit is black!
Shoot!
First of all, he was on his way. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! It matched the one...
So, the killer was wearing the same blue track...
No, it's wrong! Hold on a second, Mondo.
Huh?
When Celeste testified... She never said anything, so why did you...
What are you... Hey, Celeste.
As a man,
And before we began
the only one I told about.
Then... Mondo.
Because I'm sure he saw the...
No, that the bag and clothes were surely...
Then the only reason he could have is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! Cherry? So, how about it? Did you...
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me.
No. When Celeste, no, if you just ran into...
It would appear...
Perhaps. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be...
Ah, your true intention. Well, that's why you said you knew who did it.
That's right. Mondo was my target all along.
But why?
That's a good question. There was a certain maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to you only call guys dude, and after he was killed, you happened to refer to him. Once I picked up on that, it occurred...
Are you a witch?
No, not nearly as frightful as some...
Mondo, did you really...
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me. Judging it, what gives you the right to...
Yeah! He would never do something...
It's true.
That...
Well, this...
That's what my little... Oh yeah, that reminds me.
Really? Actually, no.
Jeez, is your comp?
It happens to be an...
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact, I was totally sure...
But it must hold some...
Well, that's what I was...
I imagine the culprit broke it to get...
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite...
You're right. They're totally water.
And yet, this one does for all your confidence.
How precise...
Shoot! I got it! You already told us before...
Sure. Maybe I let that... But if the handbook is supposed to...
Then we can only you know what the weakness is. I think it's a necessary piece...
But if I tell you...
Just tell us already.
Oh, well, then allow me to make a... When it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, if I flippin'...
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees because as your sweat evaporates, it creates if the hot air of the sauna, that layer of air would get blown away. So when you're in a sauna, that is
Anyway, If you found, then the killer must have been
Meaning the culprit
But how'd they find out?
Indeed.
What if they found?
What do you mean?
What if the killer took their own hand? They'd realize it was broken, and once they had Chihiro's handbook.
I won't say it's not. I don't know of anyone.
I might know someone who. Whoa! I think the one who may have taken their. Here's my answer. Mondo, your hand.
What?
Why?
Mondo and Taka had and for the contest, but little did he realize. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered.
No, wait, hold on! I don't accept this!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
If what he said,
You broke your own handbook.
in other words, if then that proves
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test if what he said you broke your own. In other words, if then that proves
Well, my goddamn handbook works just.
See? Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test if what he said you broke your own. In other words, if then that proves
Well, my goddamn handbook works.
See? Makoto was wrong after all!
Shoot!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo... You broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test Makoto's assertion.
If what he says is correct,
You broke your own handbook.
in other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
No, that's wrong! Mondo, the handbook you have right now. Is it the
fuck is
the broken handbook? Isn't that one?
What the heck are you talking?
What I mean is, I think he took Leon after all.
That's right!
so then, the book, which would mean that but doesn't that violate the school?
Well, there is a rule about loaning your handbook to an. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. As such,
Well, Mondo, I'm happy to admit.
Son, what's wrong, bro? You are wrong! Everything you just said is wrong!
Okay, then why don't we that way? Everything.
도대체 엘리트
exactly what happened. First, last night, Celeste, at the time, she was a... That something was a... With bag in hand, Chihiro... She made her way to... But how could the victim... Simple. Which is why he was able to use... Once inside, he met with some... It seems likely that... And attacked. And that's where the blood... It was likely... Which is why the killer hurried to then removing the... The killer is you! Which is why then... And finally carrying a girl's hand, but this alone doesn't... After all, using one of the... And that's exactly the carpet and the poster... They changed the layout. That could have been yet. Yakuya discovered the bomb. So, he went and grabbed the extent. He used the cord to... Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a... He wanted to create the...
아이 진짜. 근데 쟤는 여자 탄식 왜 들어간 거야?
I refuse to give up yet! You! Last night at the time. That... With bag in hand... But how could the... Simple, which is... Once inside... It seemed... And attack. And that... It was likely... Which is why the then were... And finally carrying a girl's hand, but this alone doesn't... After all, Sayaka and using one of those. And that's with the carpet at... They changed the... That could... Byakuya discovered the body and decided... So, he went and grabbed the... He used... Then, he wanted to create... Here's exactly what happened! Here's exactly what happened! The killer is... you! And around the same time, the killer, they... And just as the kill somehow, and the reason they knew that, and that... Isn't that right?
Wait, here's your evidence. You need evidence without any proof? Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! You're corrupt! I refuse to vote! I refute you! False! You're corrupt! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! Show me some evidence!
This should prove it! If my thinking, Mondo must have replaced his... In which case, once we do...
Huh? Yeah, I did it. I got no choice, man. Go ahead, Monica. Ask for
Roger that.
Wait!
No wait, time for the moment we've all. Who will you elect as? Will you make the? What's it gonna be?
스럽게 만들긴 했는데 너무 심해.
What? Unbelievable.
Sorry.
What is?
Now then. Actually,
Wait.
hey, what?
I'm sorry. But... That's right. I want to change...
Hey,
Yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh.
Correct. Indeed. Certainly.
But
Because... I knew it.
What is this? You're wrong!
Don't make me repeat.
Hey,
그랬을 거라고 생각하는데 다이아를 죽이셨고.
Don't fuck with me.
참 잘 만든 것 같은데.
I'm... Huh? But... I want to...
You piece of... What?
Huh?
What?
No!
Damn it. Yeah, that's right. You son of a bitch! I killed Chihiro, even after all this and thanks to that...
Yep.
It can't be
Well now.
ridiculous.
Now then, I prepared a... Let's give it...
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made.
약간
From one man.
애들이 하나씩 없어지네. 섬세하네. 80kg까지.
What is this?
Naturally.
Hey. However...
What?
Honestly. There is nothing to be done. Well...
That's right.
I see.
But...
Interesting.
Correct. Indeed. Hey,
What's this?
you... What?
Damn. Huh? What the heck? Damn it! Ooh.
That's enough. In the name of my family.
You're getting all riled up.
Well, this is a pretty.
Anyway, isn't it once things really get fear and despair? But I went to all the pain and effort of making you do remember you. Well, nope, nothing we can do about it after all. As long as you don't want to know. Ooh, I know, super denied, ultra, and nobody be.
숨어있는 데가 있긴 있어. 챕터가 몇 가지 있으려나? 챕터 2가 끝났으니 오늘은 여기까지 하도록. 다이아몬드 수고하셨습니다.